Star Trek Enterprise was magical, but could have done better with T'Pol and Trip, says Jolene Blalock. Jolene Blalock called her time on Star Trek Enterprise magical, but takes the prequel series to task because it could have done better, especially regarding Subcommander T'Pol's relationship with Commander Trip Tucker, Connor Trenier. Enterprise was canceled after 4 seasons, although the consensus is that the show greatly improved in seasons 3 and 4 when it took a more serialized approach that began to fulfill Enterprise's true potential. Audiences began to reassess Star Trek Enterprise on streaming services like Netflix and Paramount+, and the prequel is now seen more fondly than it was during its 2001 to 2005 broadcast run on the UPN network. As a special feature of the Star Trek Enterprise Season 2 Blu-ray release in 2012, the entire cast of Enterprise gathered for a rare group interview hosted by executive producer and showrunner Brannon Braga. Titled In Conversation, The First Crew, the Enterprise Actors Reunion was especially notable because Jolene Blalock, who usually shies away from speaking publicly about Enterprise, participated. Indeed, Braga said if Jolene said no to the reunion, he would have called it off. Read Braga, Blalock, and Scott Bakula's segment about Star Trek Enterprise from the 1900 Hours timestamp, and watch the entire 90-minute video below. Star Trek Enterprise didn't go far enough. Beyond Star Trek Enterprise walking the middle ground with Trip Tucker and T'Pol's relationship, the actors and Brannon Braga agreed that Enterprise did not go far enough and should have had more grit. John Billingsley started the discussion by pointing out his disappointment that Enterprise didn't explore the conflict between the crew of the NX-01 starship, since, as a prequel, they had the leeway not to be as perfect as the later Star Trek casts who have more experience in the final frontier. Braga agreed Enterprise could have been more violent, and said that Enterprise Season 4 showrunner Manny Coto's sensibilities were better suited for the show. Brannon Braga explained some of the limitations imposed on Star Trek Enterprise by UPN and Paramount. The network wanted an episodic Star Trek show in space that hewed to the prior series' established format. Braga also said that controversial aspects of Enterprise like the temporal Cold War storyline were added to appease the network.